Good morning, ladies and gents. Craig from Violent D. It's been a minute actually since we've done the last video. Sorry about that, but yeah, we haven't had tons and tons of work in the last couple of months. Had a bit of a quiet spell, so it's given me time to get a few bits sorted at home. I'm doing a bit of fishing again, which is nice. I've not done fishing in a while, so yeah. But today we've got a really cool Jzx100 in. We are doing a full wrap on it. It's going to go like a really nice metallic blue. So let me move the rather expensive garden ornament out the way. we'll get that moved. It's not moved since the last drift day, so well, it's been in and out the garage, but that's about it. But I'm going to get that out of the way, move Reese's car out, and I'll show you around what we're going to do. We've got a little bit of time prepping. The body's not so great on it, so I've got a few bits of work to do there. But yeah, let me open the garage and I'll show you. Right, okay, let me turn some lights on. This is Reese's E30, we've got to get out of the way. And this is the Jzx in question. Let me turn some lights on quickly. There we go. Right, so as you can see, it's many shades of white. We've got some bodywork bits we need to do. A lot of it is still raw fiberglass, so that's gel coat, which won't be too bad, although there is a lot of grease that we've got to clean off. Yeah, there's bits that are not so great. We've got to take all of the kit off, basically, all the over fenders off, so we can get behind here, get all the wrap underneath here done. I've just noticed these are actually not gel coat, they're bare fiberglass, so that is probably not going to be ideal. That is also bare fiberglass. What is that? Is that gel coat? Yeah, that's gel coat, so that should be fine. But obviously, not ideal for wrapping. It's going to be what it's going to be. We're not magicians. We can only do what we can do. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. This Origin kit is not going to be the easiest to wrap. That is for sure. So there's going to be a few joins in places. Can't get away from that. It is what it is. Obviously, there's a fair bit of damage on the car as well, which, you know, you can't get away from. But once it's all one colour, really nice metallic blue, and once you've got the livery on it over the top, it's going to look $1 million. So, yeah, we always say once it comes in transformed, it's completely different. So, yeah, we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Right, let's get the car shifted. Onto another thing, actually. Toy's decided she's only drove this 3 times since having it 4 times, maybe. She's actually going to let this go, I think. It's a real shame because it is a beautiful, beautiful factory Sylvia, so factory body kits. I mean, these bumpers now are like 1,400 quid to find when you find the plastic ones like this and the splitters. It's a really, really nicely built SR. Yeah, it's just a really period correct. It had the AVS Model 6, AVS-5s on it, sorry, before. Now it's running CSTs. But yeah, it's a lovely, lovely car. But if anyone's interested, that'll be going up online in the next couple of days. I'll put the full spec on there. Right, anyway, let's get these cars moved. Hopefully, so this hasn't been started in a while, so let's see. It's normally pretty good. The battery might be dead though, actually, thinking about it. Let's have a look. Oh no, we've still got central locking. Still got driftland dirt everywhere. Right, where are we? Come on, be a good one. Oh, trusty old 2.8. Trusty old 2.8. What a honey. I've always said, as much as 36s sometimes get a bit of a bad rep, they are good. They are such a good car. This hasn't been properly started in, what, months, really. So, yeah, first time starting from cold. Unbelievable. I've always said with BMs, they're just like turnkey. Skid them all day, turn them off. When you go use them again, straight back on again. Brilliant. Right, let's move. I'll tell you what, it's the first car in years that I've actually been full on comfortable with. There is so much room in here and it drives so wicked. Like with the short shift, It is just so nice. Honestly, a lot of people don't like these because they can be a bit clunky, but this one feels really good, to be honest with you. But everything's just there, like, oh no, it's wicked. It's just such a wicked car. And also headroom as well. Like, there's not many cars. I'm 6'4", and with this seat mounted pretty much to the floor. It's the option seats, but they're mounted pretty much to the floor. I've just got so much room. I mean, like I say, I'm 6'4", and I've just got masses of room in this compact. Even when we crash out on, I've just got like so much space. I mean, I've had to put padding up here because it's always tight with a roll cage with me. But even then, you know, I've got a lot of room to move around. It's really. I thought about, I did think about selling it, but then what am I going to get? I've had all the Jap cars I want. I've skidded them all. Like, you know, I'm just so happy with this. I can go out. I ain't got to worry about it. But yeah, it's parts are cheap, easy to replace. You know, it's just such a good car. Anyway, it's not a video about my car. It's a video about doing the Jzx. Let's crack on, get that done. Let's not leave that out just in case it rains. Right, let's see if this bad boy starts up. So it has 480 horsepower, 8 HP gearbox, like that's the BMW automatic semi sort of sequential gearbox in it. We'll see, it might. Yep, well, we've got power, that's good. So you've still got a clutch pedal. How this works, you've still got a clutch pedal, but it's done like a fly-by-wire almost, so you can still do clutch kicks, but obviously everything is on the shifter. So if I put my foot on the brake, that's second, that's first. So we're in first, push forward, neutral, second, first is there. Want to get this out so we can move around it. I'll get it outside in a minute. Right, that's neutral. Okay. Oh. Right. Yeah, I need to give it a good clean, get it all stripped down. That bumper's going to be fun to wrap. Right, yeah, it looks like there's just a few tech screws I've got to take off to get some of this stuff off, but yeah, we should be good. Alright, so I've just taken, first job, I've just taken a look at this boot. Obviously, it's not going to be the best underneath the wrap, as you can see. I will rub that down a little bit. But what's happened is this bit here is rubbing this bit here, which is going to rub obviously through the vinyl. I thought I'd sand it down a tad here, but to be honest with you, it's going through to the fiberglass now, so you're not going to be able to take a lot more off, and that's just hitting. So I think it's going to have to stay hitting, I'm afraid. There's not an awful lot you can do with stuff like this. Yeah, I'm going to get that spoiler off anyway for wrapping, it'd be easier. And yeah, hopefully be all right. Wowzers. Right, well that's the over fenders off the back anyway. Whew. Right, what I'm going to do now is get this whole thing stripped to sin side skirts, get it outside, wash it down to get all the rubber off from all inside the arches and stuff like that. And then once we get it back in, I'll jack it up, take the bumpers off, take the boot spoiler off, and then we should be pretty much set to get started on it once it's all cleaned. Get the headlights out, front bumper off, yeah, grille out, wing mirrors off. Whew. Right, so looking at this car, and obviously the bumpers and stuff like that, we're gonna have to treat stuff in quite a few different sections, like different segments. So like as you see on the skirts here, because it goes sort of around, down, and then you've got that massive jut in, I think what I'll do, I'll treat that square as like a separate thing, and then just put like an infill in that inner panel, maybe, something like that, until I get them off and have a proper look at them. I'm not too sure, but I think that's the way we're going to go with it. I mean, because I'll say these are bare fiberglass, so it's not ideal for stuff to stick to, but I can only do what I've got given, so it is what it is. But yeah, we'll do our best. We always try and transform them, so I'm sure it'll look amazing when it's done. Oh, but yeah, should look pretty sporty in blue. It's a really nice blue. I'll show you the metallic blue in a minute. Yeah, it's like a night blue, not as dark as my old Jzx actually. It's a couple of shades lighter than that, but I think it'll look amazing in the different lights, because it should have a bit of a, not a flip to it, but like a dark blue to a light blue kind of shimmer. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It should look really cool when it's done. It will look better than 50 Shades of White anyway. Right, in a bit, I'm going to get all this stuff off and I'll show you around it once it's down and up in the air and wheels off and all that sort of gubbins. Yeah, so it's all these fiddly bits which take the time, all the nuts and bolts that are put through fenders and stuff. It just takes so long to get these little bits and pieces off. Same as like stripping all neons off. It just takes a long time, but it's the bits that obviously make it, getting everything off the car so you can tuck around neat on the joins and stuff like that, and tuck around neat on the edges. It just makes a better job. So yeah, we spend a couple of days stripping, prepping. This will probably stay on, to be fair, because it'll be easier in place. This one will definitely get off. And yeah, like I say, there's with being fiberglass, bare fiberglass, it never sticks as well as it does to paint. So what I'll probably do is do like a natural join line through this line here, and then do the under section piece in one, so there's no pulling, heating and pulling. At the end of the day, you've got to do what you've got to do when it's stuff like that. So yeah, but no, it should look $1 million when it's done. It should look pretty wild. All right, okay, so we have a very much stripped Jzx100. Should hopefully look a lot better in a couple of days. Well, if it doesn't, then we're in trouble, but fingers crossed. Yes, so with time to clear the workshop out, get all the cars out, start doing the bodywork on these bits, and yeah, should be what, a day I reckon on this stuff, finishing that bit off, getting that all prepped up, and then yeah, hopefully Monday we start wrapping. Yeah, oh, it's a bit fresh out, I must admit. I've got to go and get some diesel for the old heater because it is chilly. But right, more in a bit. All right, I think looking at these, the neatest way I can do this is just by chopping these out. So I'm going to try and cut through there because it's the strongest glue known to freaking man. I don't know what it is, but some sort of white tiger seal, I think. But cut these sections off the bumpers so I can get the blue going right the way underneath this, and then I'll glue these back on at a later date once they're wrapped. That's probably going to be your best bet, I think. Yes. Right, so that's the first wash down. Get rid of some of the gunk on it. Stuff like this on the roof, obviously, they're all scratched and scuffed. What I'm going to do is just get a little bit of 400 and just go over it just to take the edge off. Literally just to take the edge off. I'm not going mad on it. It will never be completely smooth, but I'm going to do that, get that smooth so you don't see the line once the wrap goes on it. And that's probably the best we're going to do on that, to be honest. Yeah, there's a few bits around the body that need sorting, but once most of the car that's being wrapped is off the car, if that makes sense. So all of the over fenders, bumpers, skirts, it's all off the car already. So that'll be in the house, which would be nice. But yeah, I reckon It's me. I do it mainly by myself, and then Toya helps me pretty much on all the jobs that we do. So it's like me and Toya really crack at it. Really, we haven't got no other contractors or anything like that to help us. So it's just me and my wife. We do all these wraps, all the liveries that you've seen since like 2006. Yeah, it's just us two cracking on, getting them done. So yeah, we it might take a little bit longer than most commercial companies that do wrapping because they have like 7-8 bods on them, blitz around like little ants. But for us, it's a passion. So I like to take my time, get things done right, and the cars always come out looking amazing. So, well, I like to think so anyway. But yeah, we're going to take our time on it, get it nice, get it right. The guy's a really nice guy. He just wants neaten it up. So that's what we're going to do. Right, more progress in a bit. Right, there we go. So like I say, it's just taking the edge off, so they're nice and smooth now, so you ain't going to get them lines underneath the wrap. I say it's never going to be perfect. You'll see a faint outline, but it's not going to be as bad as them big gouges. So yeah, stuff like that is worth doing, especially on a drift car. Obviously, if you was wrapping a Lamborghini, then that'd go back to the paint shop and all be done before the wrap's done. But on something like this, where it's, you know, your typical underneath body drift mods and stuff like that, it's it is what it is. Next thing though, I've got to get these silver trims off. If it's the same as my Mark II, you just pull these off here. Yep, same. And then you've got screws underneath here, so we'll get them down. Get all these trims off both sides. That will all come off then in one piece. And I can tuck the wrap right underneath, and you're not going to get no edges. I mean, most people do on drift cars, just feed it to the edge and trim to the edge, but it's not what we do. So yeah, we'll get that looking neat. Yeah, we've got another little job to do in today as well, so I'm going to get this pushed back in the garage. Once that's all dried up, we'll dry that up, get it pushed back in. We've got this E92, I believe that shape is. I can't remember, there's so many different shapes, but yeah, E92 I think. These matte black window trims have gone sort of bluey, matte blacky, so I want to redo them in a piano black, gloss black, so that's this afternoon as well, get that one done. Throw in, and his missus, yeah, they've all gone a bit motley, sun damage I think, but yeah, that'd be this afternoon's job as well. Quick in and out job, that one, should be nice. I say they are a nice shape, the E92, aren't they? They are a nice, lovely shape, especially when you've got like little splitters on and stuff like that. They really do make a difference. Black on black always looks good as well. Black wheels, black leather, black trims, beautiful. Yeah, very nice. Well, I'm no body shop, but I've got a. I couldn't leave the cracks in that bumper because they would have looked terrible when the wrap went. So what I've done, I've just chucked a bit of fiberglass filler in them, glued the cracks so that hopefully they don't come apart with some really strong glue, and then fiberglass the backside edge, front side edge, and also the little holes that were there. So once they're sanded down, it should take any stuff off the wrap that's not going to look so good. Same as the over fenders here, they were cracked through, so I've just chucked some fiberglass on the back to reinforce it before wrapping it. We'll let that dry for a couple of hours, then I'll sand that down. Hopefully, should look half decent. Well, it can't look any worse than it was, so it will definitely look better than it did before. Yeah, so under the light, that's why we're doing them black again, because all the factory ones have gone manky, so they've gone all tarnished. So we're going to get a nice gloss black, piano black on there. Should look really nice again. Right, here we go. Nice new window trims, all gloss black, getting rid of that mottled black effect. So yeah, looking good, man. So this is the blue. It's really, it's a bit dark in here, obviously. I've got a fake light, but it's a really nice blue. It's actually a bit lighter than it looks on the video, but yeah, it's Very, very nice. All right, so what we've done, we just removed this trim all the way along here so we can tuck that right neat inside there. It's going to look way, way better. So getting that all tucked in there, then the seal will sit up to there. So yeah, it looks, should look $1 million. Obviously the over fenders come up to here anyway, so what we'll do is we'll drop the vinyl down inch or so below that, and then we'll also put a strip down here going over, so when the over fender butts up, you don't see any white joins along there. But yeah, should start looking pretty neat. So obviously with drift cars, a lot of actual wrapping companies won't touch them, because obviously you get, you know, bits like this where, you know, it's just been lashed over, they get damaged, you know, there's a lot of overspray in places, and the wrap won't stick great to that, to be honest with you. As much as you can clean it out, you can just clean out as much as you can. You know, it's one of them things that you know, you kind of work with what you got. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. These sort of wraps, you know, I don't never mind saying what things cost, but something like this has cost him 2,200 quid, but that's including materials, design time for the livery. We've done that twice. You know, it's a real long process. You know, you've got like the full strip down, repairing a few bits. I'm going to be honest with you that, you know, most wrap firms would charge you $4,000 to do something like this. I absolutely love what I do, and I love working on these cars. It's why I try and do a cost-effective price for people. But in reality, it's not really worth your time, in as much as like the time you spent doing it to the time what you do. You're not, when you work out your hourly rate, by the time you've designed it, cut all the materials, prepped it, stripped it, cleaned it, fit it, it's like, it's a lot of work. So I don't tend to do so many full wraps, mainly on drift cars, because you're dealing with bodywork issues and stuff like that. But I just wanted this one to go out looking right for the guy, because he's a nice lad, and yeah, it should look pretty cool when it's done. But yeah, I tend to steer clear of the full wraps these days. Like all the liveries and stuff I do a lot of, but full wrapping is it's a ball ache, let's put it that way. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. It should look pretty cool when it's done. Right, so just tested the door. Really, really beautiful colour. It's actually very similar to my old Jzx colour, but it's a fair bit lighter, to be honest. But yeah, it's nice, really nice. I love it, like a deep blue. Just glued this inner paddle on. Excuse me. Other door is there, just not done the strip panel yet. That's to be done, still on the roof. But yeah, should look really cool actually. It's hard to envision it when it's like mismatched, but once it's all one colour, should look lovely. All right, let's crack on. Yeah, man, it's a beautiful colour. All right, so finally, the boot spoiler and the roof spoiler are off. God, it took about 2 hours. It was absolutely caked in Tiger Seal, and that stuff is like stronger than cement. It's unbelievable. I've removed what I can, a bit of a toffee wheel. It's revealed some not so nice damage underneath. Less than ideal, but most of it's getting covered by the spoiler anyway. So yeah, we should look alright when it's done. But anyhow, let's crack on. All of this damage is covered by obviously the over fender and stuff. What I'm going to do tonight, now I've finally got them off, I'm going to wrap the boot. Obviously, there's been covered here anyway, so I may as well do a join line through there, all the way through, and then do the base piece there. And then what I'm going to try and do also is get the vinyl over here, both sides, and then call it a night for tonight. And then tomorrow start again, we'll do roof, fenders, boot. So basically it's Monday now. So by Thursday, I want to have this whole car wrapped blue, and then it leaves me Friday to prep the livery, and then Saturday, Sunday to fit it. So hopefully early next week should be back on the road and running, but yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully it works out like that. Fingers crossed. Right, anyway, less waffling and more doing. See you in a bit. Alright, so as you can see, wrap the top part. That's the damage. Just get covered by the spoiler. I fed it inside there. I've done behind there because basically this inner part, you see through the holes there, so I've wrapped that bit anyway, so you'll only see blue. I know a plate covers it, but anyway, it looked neat. So I'm going to feed all that in there, heat that round, put that in, trim the rest of it, and then boot's done, ready for that to be wrapped to go on. So that's the inner panel there. So yeah, it looks nice and neat with all the blue behind it. Obviously the plate's going to go in that, hide them 2 holes there, and then it's just the outer surround which I've got to do. So yeah, boots should be pretty much complete. I've got to try and hide that suspect area next. So yeah, nice. It's very similar colour to the Jzx, isn't it? Well, not this Jzx, my Jzx, but yeah, it's a really, really nice blue. Just a little bit lighter, I think, than my one was. I don't know why mine looked quite chrome in pictures. It looked like bluey chrome, but that's like a really nice metallic.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice, man. And he's going to go like a purple livery with chrome, so it should look pretty cool. Blue and Cadbury's purple, like an old school D1 sort of thing. All that work making it look pretty under there, and now it's covered up by a plate, but at least I know it's been done properly. Alright, so that's the back, completely finished on that number plate recess. What we're doing is like along these edges here, before obviously the over fender goes on, we're just putting strips in so you don't see any white gaps, same as the doors really. So all on like the inside door edges here, just put blue in there so when the door closes you don't get a colour difference. I think the over fender comes back a couple of mil as well, so like I say, once that's finished there, you'll get a nice edge. Same as in underneath here, obviously the over fenders go into here. Once this part comes down and wrapped, we'll tuck that inside here so you don't get no visible joins. And obviously that bit there is all done in one piece, so that's going to come down and it will get hidden underneath the over fender down here. So yeah, it should look super neat. Well, that's the plan. Alright, so we're just doing the bonnet at the moment, just leaving the excess. I've got to heat around all the edges and stuff, but yeah, bonnet's gone on looking really nice. They're big old bonnets on these chasers, so because they come right the way down and then they've got to come all the way down the front of the nose cone, and obviously the nose cone's separate. I took the grill out of that part, but yeah, it should look super neat when it all goes in. All the edges, you won't see anything on the edges because we're wrapped right underneath. Yeah. So what a lot of people wonder is, like on edges like this, how you get them neat. And what I tend to do, I'll cut quite close around there and then I'll come out and out. So when you heat this up, I won't do, I need a bloody head cam is what I need. So basically when you heat this up, you've got a smaller area here to heat under, and then you've still got the tab to go round to seal it off. That's the way, I'll do it quickly and I'll show you. So yeah, so basically that, so you heat that little tiny area in first, there we go. So you heat that tiny area in first, so you've got not a lot of excess, and then it leaves you the tabs to then feed all the sides and the other side leading edge in. So once you obviously heat that up, you can then push that edge down and it will tuck underneath. So that's how I get the corners neat. Right, there we go, that's the finished product. So it ends up looking like that, so like a nice neat, and then obviously all the underside is tucked under. Yep. Obviously you'll never hide damage on the bonnet, that's going to be there regardless, but obviously once all the livery goes on, it should hide a lot of that stuff anyway. You can only work with what you got. You can stick down to what you got to stick down to at the end of the day, but yeah. Right, bonnet is done. God, that colour makes me miss my old Jzx. Looks so sick. There you go, so it's the little details I think always make a, oh, there we go. Little details make up a wrap, good wrap I think. Like tiny little bits like that just look so much better when they're done. A lot of people just spray them black, but I think it's nice when they all match. This thing's gonna look wild. It's gonna look really, really cool. Right, so next up is these pillars here. So what I've done, I've put some knifeless tape going over the edge. So basically once we've got these down, tucked into here, we can pull that knifeless tape through. It'll give us a little bit of a 5 to 6 mil sort of onto the roof. Then once the roof panel comes over, it will encapsulate it, and the roof panel will end to this inside gap here. So yeah, that's clay barred the roof as much as we can, clay barred the sides. Obviously there is that damage on it from earlier, and there's, like I say, it's all been painted, so you can tell it's all very, very rough under there. I've cleaned it the best I can, but you're going to see white. You're going to see basically blue, and this bit's always going to be white because that's overspray on a rubber. That inner edge there, that 10 mil you can see is a rubber which has been painted over, so that will always be white. I suppose you could mask and take that up and just brush that in with a bit of black afterwards and make it look a bit neater. If I get time, I might try and do it, but I don't think I will. But yeah, no, it should look good anyway. Right, so door handles are done on both sides. They look super neat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the rear door handle, but I'm going to put a square around this. So once the over fender opening is obviously around it, you're not going to see any white. Also, same as the fuel flap, I'll do the fuel flap, and then I'll do a big square around that. So again, the rear sort of opening isn't going to show any sort of white around there. So yeah, it should hopefully be all right. I think inside edges, obviously I'm only going to wrap the blue up to this point here. So again, you won't see it when the door's closed. Hopefully, it'll go all right. So I'm going to chuck again on the end bits here, just so when the light's going you won't see any bits. And I'm also going to put another strip along both sides here, so when the back bumper butts up there, you don't get no see-through from there. So yeah, kind of polish. What's the saying? You can't polish a turd, but you can roll it in glitter, apparently. Right, so there's the finished section. So like I say, I've put a little bit of a 5-6 mil gap along there, so when the roof one comes over, it sort of encapsulates it. And obviously got the silver trim which goes over there as well, tucks to that front edge there. So yeah, nice and neat. No joins. I know a lot of people go, it's only a drift car. We'll save 2 meters 500 worth of vinyl, and we'll just put a join there where the centre pillar is, but you get like an absolutely unnecessary join straight through there. So at least in one piece, it looks like a paint job. So yeah, you can see that tucked straight into there, so it's all nicely wrapped. So the knifeless tape, you just got to literally pinch it and pull that through, and then it'll just literally cut through wherever you've laid the tape. It will cut through the vinyl, so you haven't got a cut on the car. There you go. And then you're left with 2 towel ends. What I normally do is take the front layer off first, which is that, and then I'll pull this back edge back through from under the vinyl. And a little bit of heat on that, and then it will heat that into that recess. all the way along. Job diddled. Right, side pillars and roof are done. Looks fancy. Even that damage, I sanded that little damaged bit down here that was knackered, and that's that don't really show no more, man. So yeah, it's looking pretty spicy, mate. Oh God, it is a cold morning here in Suffolk. It's like -1. God, it's freezing. Frost's on the ground still, but we've got to start that car again. We had a bit of a nightmare with it yesterday. We didn't record much yesterday because the panels were just so filthy dirty. And being bare fiberglass, they just wasn't having it. So we've got some other degreaser today. We're going to crack on with it today. I'm going to open up now, get some of the panels in the house, start proper scrubbing them down. I think we're going to have to degrease them with like a scrubbing brush. Obviously bare fiberglass just sucks in all that oil when it's been left. There's no gel coat on the front bits. So I don't know how we're going to get on, but obviously we're not a body shop, so we can't be like sanding, painting, prepping. It'll be another 3 weeks before it's even done. So plus it's not my job, so but we're going to give it another try today. Hopefully it all goes all right. Other than that, you know, we'd have to get them off to a paint shop and get them painted before we wrap them. That's the other option. But we'll come to that route because obviously that'd be an extra expense for the guy. So yeah, we'll crack on and see what we can do. Fingers crossed. It's all right. I was just looking. It ain't frost in my beard. That's just my grey hair. I know it's cold, but it's not that cold. God, it's freezing today. Right, let's crack on. Oh God, it's nothing like a fire to warm me up. Oh, I love it. I love a fire, mate. I don't know what it is. I don't know, it's something really primal about fire, isn't it? It's like manly fire. Oh God, that is lovely and warm. Right, just setting up a little bit of a cleaning area because it's these are pretty bad. This was the main problem, is these ones here. I just can't get that grease off, so I've cleaned them, but they're not actually coming up that good. So going to get them here. I'm going to use some pretty harsh chemicals, hence why I'm doing them outside. See if it will strip them off, and then we're going to get them in the warmest room of the house, and I'm going to wrap them in there. Yeah, that garage is so cold today. To heat that up, it costs so much money per day. It's about 60-70 quid a day with the diesel and the diesel heater. It's just absolutely rinses the diesel. So yeah, we're gonna do all this stuff in the house today, be a lot warmer and a lot easier. So whew. Right, let's get on cleaning. Right, so what I'm thinking, these are the worst bits, to be honest with you. It's where it's bare fiberglass and it's been worked on. I mean, this has been cleaned like 3 times now. Look, there's just the grease, in-ground grease into the top there. I can't get that out. Same as all these little rough areas here. There's no way that vinyl is going to stick inside them to bare fiberglass. So what I might end up doing is painting these inners bit black. And then when I do the blue, come down, trim along here, so you've got like a black return in an event, and then just do the blue coming into there like that. I think that's going to look a million times better. I think it'd actually look really cool, to be honest. And then what I'll do, I may as well dust in all these black, because there's no way vinyl's going to stick to this stuff. Same as all inside here. I mean, you're not going to see it anyway, but I just thought if I dust it in black and then just do the blue over to the face, that way I can probably do all these inner edges, which the vinyl's never ever going to stick to, and just do them black as well. I think that's going to be the best option. Right, the importance of cleaning everything thoroughly, even the backs, because all of that stuff, when you put it down on the table, it's going to go on, and when you wrap it, all of these little crappy bits are going to go underneath the vinyl without doubt. They will jump under the vinyl. So yeah, it's hours and hours of work. All that's cleaned. It doesn't look like it, but that's as clean as they're going to get. I I've still got to degrease the mind, but that's the dirt off of them at least. Well, as much as I can get off anyway. Right, while all that stuff's drying over there, I'm going to get the heater fired up, get these rear door handles done, and hopefully from then we can start, basically as I do each piece, I'm going to put them on the car so it starts transforming, looking a bit more like a car again, because I feel like I'm I feel like I'm not getting anywhere in a minute. It takes so long to do this sort of stuff, so yeah. Oh my God, it's freezing in here. Okay, so made a start. So this is what I'm going to do, spray the vents black. So obviously once the blue goes over, I can cut in, feed that bit in, should be nice. So yeah, both, just put it in front of the blower a bit to dry, but yeah. So all the inside edges will be black as well. As the returns going into the wings, should look a lot neater, I reckon. Yeah, a bit cold for painting, but it's got to get done. Okay, so that's all the bits blacked over that I said I was going to black, so all inside edges, stuff like that. Obviously it's still soaking wet at the moment, but yeah, that should neaten it up anyway. Once all the all on, obviously you're not going to be able to wrap down the inside edge there because the fiberglass is so rough, so it'd be better being black with this colour than bright white. Same with the back bumper. We've just literally primed this up, so that's gonna all be black around that inside lip there. It's all gonna be black, and then these front sections are gonna be blue coming under. So yeah, should look pretty cool, I think. I'll put a strip through here, and I might do just a little join there, because otherwise you're doing one whole section to do that whole bit. And let's face it, back bumpers are likely to be ripped off at some point, so I'm sure it's going to be in many sections after about 6-7 months of being a drift car. So yeah, it looks nice going out all fresh, and then what you find is the drift cars slowly, they bring me up and say, Craig, have you got this colour or have you got that colour? And there'll be like a square patch here and a square patch there, but yeah, no, it should look good. I'm happy with that actually. That will neaten up all them inside edges, so we ain't got to worry about wrap lifting on that dodgy fiberglass. So yeah, it's worthwhile doing. Right, that's the rear handles as well done. So yeah, look nice and neat. So that will be completely covered now. Once the motor fenders go on, so you ain't going to see any white on that. Same as the other side. Right, so as far as the body goes, that is it. That's all the blue on the body. All the rest is just over fenders and bumpers. So yeah, should, once this is dried overnight, get a coat of black on this in the morning. They should be fully dry, so I should be able to start wrapping them tomorrow. And then I can wrap roof spoiler, boot spoiler, little side strips, front grille. By the end of the weekend, it should hopefully look a bit more like a car. Right, so today has been a day in front of the fire, doing the panels, so it's nice and warm in here. We're trying our best to do the best we can on this. As I said earlier in the video, all this stuff here we've just rattle canned in. If I show you what we've been doing so far, so all of this stuff, as you was aware, you've been told a million times in the video, it's all bare fiberglass, but you know, you'll do your utmost to try and make sure that it's done all wrapped around the backs of the fiberglass. So hopefully no lifting. Obviously it doesn't stick to bare fiberglass well, but it's more like when you come to here, for example, when you come to the spoilers. So what I'm going to do is join it on this edge here, and I'll join the front one about 5mm underneath that. But where you've got obviously all the curves on it, it's very, very hard to get it to stick in one piece, especially being fiberglass. So I'm going to wrap the top section. Once this is bonded onto the car, I'll wrap that on the car so I can just trim it down with some cutting tape and go from there. But yeah, the rear quarter panel. Looks so much neater with the black inners, I think, you know, because that would have just been bare white fiberglass because it doesn't really stick to it. So we'll just leave that black. We've also sprayed the underside so you don't see any white. When it's on the car, you won't see any white. And then again, wrapped all the way inside it to stop that lifting. So when that's on the vehicle, you're not going to get any white edges. So yeah, we are going as quick as we possibly can and as neat as we possibly can. Right, boys, what do you think of fitting vinyls to fiberglass? Any good? No? No idea? God, what a life. You ain't got none of these stresses, have you? Right, there we go. So that's one skirt completely done. It's in a few sections, but you wouldn't notice it. It looks really, really well, actually, to be honest with you. I thought we wrapped all underneath. Yeah, it looks wicked.
How you doing?
Yeah, loving life. Oh dear. Not the easiest of skirts to wrap, but
we're getting there.
We're getting there. Right, so we are cracking on really well. I've fitted all those fenders. Are a bit of a nightmare to fit because they've been put up before with like riv nuts. And we've just done some really neat little pot rivets in them, some little black pot rivets. What I used on the Jzx, also used on the E36, but all the side trims are now glued on. Yeah, it just looks like a new car. I mean, considering how it come in here, it's complete different. So I've wrapped all the underside of the spoiler. That's all done. I'm just going to wrap the top bit while it's on there because it was a nightmare scooting around the table. But it's it really is getting there. This colour's freaking wild. I love it. But yeah, it's looking very, very neat now. Amazing what a bit of wrap can do to transform a car. Definitely looks mega. So yeah, I'm going to try and wrap these tonight, and then it's on to the bumpers and the grille. Skirts are wrapped, obviously. They just got to go on, but yeah, should be, hopefully by Tuesday, it will be looking like a full blue car, and then it's just on to the livery. So yeah, very, very good, coming on. We also have another car in, another Jzx100, which is Joe by Luke's. This was the one that we done a couple of years ago now, year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But this is all coming in for a fresh new livery, so yeah, should look pretty mad. But we wrapped this one, grey back end, then split it up with all the chromes, all the shards, the anime girl. So yeah, this is one that we've done, but like I say, wants a fresh new look. So one Jzx, two Jzx. Right, okay, so today we're going to tackle this bumper. Obviously we've sprayed all this inner part. We've got to wrap all these bits blue, the down struts, blue down onto there, to the face of here basically. So it'll be all black strip, blue bits. The only thing I've got to do is try and sort out this. I've tried to remove these, I've tried to cut through here, but every time I go to try and pull this off, it sounds like it's going to crack. So I think all of this back has been glued on with Tiger Seal, and it's absolutely solid. Yeah, I mean, you can see it all in there. What do you want? It's absolutely solid, and it's sounding like it's splitting the bumper. So I think what I'm going to have to do is try and cut that way, and try and scrape that stuff off, and then wrap up to it over on this bit, and then put a strip down it, covering it. Worst case scenario is I'll have to put a little bit, like this has been done here, put a tiny little bit of black sealant just down here, just to hold it in place so the wrap doesn't lift. It won't look out of place because obviously there's black on the back, and there's going to be bits of black on the livery as well. So yeah, there's this back bumper to do today, and front bumper. We're going to have a crack at it anyway, see how far we get. These are an absolute notorious pain in the arse normally, but we'll see how we get on. Alright, so we just managed to cut all of this out. Obviously, it's not the best. It's taking gel coat off. It's Tiger Seal. That's what it does. It's solid, but I can't remove this anymore because this is cracking. As soon as I try and pull this off or run a blade down to cut that off, it's been an absolute nightmare. This is the side that people don't see when things have been, I wouldn't say bodged up, but when things have been done like this and left all the excess here to dry. Tiger Seal is a nightmare, and it takes hours and hours of just trying to get this stuff straight before you can even do the wrapping. It's an absolute nightmare. So now we've done, obviously we've got to get all of this stuff off, and then we've got to sand it back so it's smooth before we can stick the vinyls on. So, yeah, it's not ideal, less than ideal, I would say. Yeah, so I'm going to be, sorry, I've got stuff all in my mouth, all in my beard. I'm going to be honest with you, most companies wouldn't have even entertained this. Like, they just, well, they would, but they'd put another £1,000 on the price, because obviously the time it takes to, you know, paint bits in that I wasn't originally going to be painted. Sit here for hours doing this, you know, use an extra easy. I've spent an extra 2 to 3 days longer than I should have done on it. You know, but I'm very much a believer. I've priced the guy, you know, I'll tell him exactly what I've done extra. If someone wants to pay me a bit extra for the extra work I've done, great, but obviously I've quoted the guy, so I can't then go back on a quote. So for me, you know, it's one of them things. I want to do the best job that I can possibly do, and you know, I want these jobs to be a transformation. So when people bring in a car and then it goes out of my place looking amazing, that's what I get a buzz out of. That's what the satisfaction I get. That said, you know, it was silly of me. I should have looked at the car before I priced it, really. But hey ho, it is what it is. But it's going to look amazing when it's done. So yeah, just quit your bitching, as I say, and let's just get on and wrap it. Right, in a bit. Right, okay, so this is what we're doing. We've got some cutting tape along here. We're going to split it on this natural swage line here. And then obviously this next section will be lost in this swage line here. But as you can see, it looks really, really neat when you do that. You're not gonna, sorry, excuse me. You're not gonna see any joins through there. It'll all just kind of blend in together, but yeah. The rear bumper has started. Right, okay, so that's the first section all cut through and trimmed up. Yeah, it looks quite neat. So what we're doing is now we've got a cutting strip along there, another one just a couple of mil above that one. So once we release the next section, we pull that one through, that will join that. And then we'll get the bottom section over the top and run another cutting strip just above this one into that line, and you'll never ever see it. So yeah, and it just means, you know, when you've got bit bumpers in rough condition like this, you know that it's going to stick. You're not trying to heat one whole bumper in one piece, because, you know, sometimes you'd be able to do this in one piece. If it was decent paint finish, you'd be able to wrap that in one. But with this one, it's just no point in even trying, because it will just lift. So, yeah, you just sort of minimise the damage in sections, and it's a lot easier to go around. Right, there we go. That's the next section down. So as you can see, that's what I was saying about the join. The join's straight through there. You'd never even see it unless you're right up close, but even then it's like really, really unnoticeable. Yeah, so I'm just happy. I know that that's not going to lift. You know, you've got maximum area sticking down along there. So yeah, just need to go along, double heat all these edges, and yeah, that should be done. I mean, if you're really paranoid, sometimes you can cut like a 5mm strip and just put it over the top, but I'm sure that'd be absolutely fine. Right, there we go. Back bumper. I've still got to do the infill bits in the blue at the bottom on the diffuser. But it looks really, really good. Obviously, I've done my best on these side pods. They were pretty bad. So it may be the fact that I have to split down here and then just put a tiny bit of black silicone sealant just down there. But I tried to scrape out everything that was there. But yeah, it's looking super, super neat, actually. Really neat. Yeah, happy with that. It was a bit of a bugger to do, but nonetheless, it looks good. Okay, so that's the rear bumper completely done. Blue fins as well on the inner diffuser. Yeah, looks wicked. There we go, that's the grill done. I've just got to put all the inner black bit in still. But yeah, nice and neat, just one little joint at each end underneath. So you've got no face joins or anything like that. Yeah, looks really good. All right, let's start putting this car back together. Yeah, grill looks proper smart. Takes away from that little bit of damage that's on that corner. It was really visible in white, but you can't really see it now in blue. But yeah, looks really nice. Smart. Right, so we are absolutely flying at the minute. So home fender's done. Super neat. I've done the bottom of the door strips there. Back bumper, rear spoiler's done as well. I'm just literally fitting the back bumper up at the moment. But yeah, that looks really nice. It's looking like a new car. Fins are done. Looks wild actually. So yeah, starting to look like a car. Very cool. Right, you have to excuse it's a little bit dusty, but it's pretty much there. So we've transformed a rather battered drift car into something that looks, well, incredible to be honest with you. It's been a lot of work. I've still got the front bumper to do, still got the mirrors, but it is looking $1 million. It is looking so good. So yeah, looks very, very cool. It almost doesn't need a livery. It looks so good in blue. But yeah, very, very, very cool. There's so much blue that I'm thinking sometimes on cars like this, I do the mirrors a different colour, like a black, to kind of blend in with the trims, and it always looks really good. So I might do the mirrors black, but yeah, we've near enough got a complete car. Like I say, front bumper I'm working on now. And yeah, like I say, excuse the dust, it's really dusty in here today. But yeah, it's looking absolutely incredible. So everything's fitted up now. All I've got to do is finish putting a couple of fixings in the skirt. I've got the neons to put back underneath it, so all the neons have got to go all the way around. But yeah, no, I'm well happy with that. It looks, I mean, look at that. That is crazy, isn't it? That's like a different car than what coming in. Right, I've just gone whole at it. It's an horrible, messy job, but I just went in with P80 just to get the bulk of it off, and then I'll just go one lighter and prime it. Like I say, it's not going to be a show-winning prep work for a reef spray. I'm covered in stuff. Yeah, it's just good enough so I can get a coat of clear on it, gloss, so I can actually wrap to it, and then hopefully tonight this will be done, and then we're pretty much done it minus delivery. So yeah, right, let's carry on this bloody horrible job and get it done. Right, okay, so that's the bumper repair done. Got rid of that big crack at the bottom, 2 holes in the front. So now I've just got to put a bit of black on it so the vinyl will stick, and then we've got to prep the rest of the bumper, get rid of all this stuff, and then yeah, last piece of the puzzle. Right, that should be enough just to get the vinyl to stick to it. It's like I say, it's not going to be a body shop. It's not a body shop repair, but it's the best I can do to get the vinyl to stick. So at least the customers can have their front bumper done. So yeah, let's let that dry off, let the heater blow, dry it all off, and then we'll let the paint out gas, and then we'll get it in for wrapping. So hopefully tomorrow that'll be wrapped, and the car will be back in one piece. But we're winning. Right, so I've give it a quick wash down, get all the grime off of it. I've still got to cut all these bits off the edges, but that's it, at least as clean as it's going to get. I'm going to chuck it inside now, let that heat up and dry off, and then we'll degrease it, and then we'll start chopping these out and then wrapping it. So yeah, I reckon that'll take me about, in all honesty, a bumper like that will probably take you 4 or 5 hours to do. It's a long time. I mean, the other one took me, the rear bumper took me 6 hours on my own to do. So yeah, it's an effort, to be honest, your bumpers. Okay, so we're on to the second nightmare bumper. Obviously, all these infill bits you have to do first because there's no way you're going to get it to wrap in one piece, go in, out, and stick and stay stuck. Basically, I like things to stay how they're meant to be. So the cars that we've done, you know, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, they look as good as the day we done them. You end up with a tiny little joins through some sections, but I'd rather that than it obviously lift and peel. So hence we do all these inner sections first, and then this next swage line here, that will be in one piece, and they'll wrap up over, and then they'll just neatly join on the inside edge there, and you'll never see the join. So yeah. Right, I'm not going to do a load of updates on this because you've seen the rear bumper being done. I'm just going to get this all done on the car, and I'll get a video when it's all done. Right, that was one absolute nightmare, but it's done. Just all down inside here, I can't get the vinyl to stick where all that tiger seal was scraped out. So I'm just going to have to put a neat little black bead of black silicone just all down there, both sides. But yeah, the rest of the bumper is done. And again down there, you see where the white edges go. I just can't get the vinyl to stick in there. But yeah, the others look really neat. So there's the only joins you really see is one there and one on the other side, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, it looks really good. Right, go and get this on the car. All right, that bumper was absolutely no joke. Doing all the infill bits, it was a nightmare. It took about 6.5 hours to do on my own. It was an absolute nightmare, but it's done. It looks really neat. All I've got to do inside them edges where all that manky old tiger seal was, I just can't get the vinyls to stick in there on the return, so I've just got to run a little bit of black silicone sealant down it. But yeah, it should look really neat when it's on. I've done, yeah, see like in there, I can't get rid of the white in there because it just won't stick. So a bit of black sealant in there, but yeah, it's looking $1 million, to be honest. So last part of the puzzle, minus the mirrors actually, so I lie. But yeah, we're nearly there. All right, man, so 6.5 hours later, the front bumper's done. Where all that manky old tiger seal is now, I'm just going to run a bead of black silicone down it because it just won't stick where the vinyl is. But other than that, it's turned out really, really smart. Considering that bumper was absolutely fucking mullered, it's actually looking pretty nice, man. But yeah, we'll get that on, get the mirrors on, and then that car is pretty much done with the blue. But look how mental it looks. Right, I mean, that is a complete transformation. Considering what that turned up like, it looks absolutely unbelievable. The front bumper's not fully fitted up yet, but you can see it's still popping out on this side, but you get the gist. Yeah, looks pretty mega. Alright, so the car's not dirty, but it's just been very dusty sitting in the workshop. We were doing the livery today, so we're just literally just drying it off. Just getting some warm water going over it, getting the dust off, getting this drying towel on, taking all the water off of it. And yeah, start the livery. I'm excited to get the livery on actually. So this is the first layer of the chrome. Already looks absolutely wild. So yeah, it's looking really, really cool. Want to go for like a super early 2000s vibe with it. It looks very, very cool with the chrome on. Then we got it going onto the bonnet as well, can up onto the bonnet. Logos going down the centre. Then I've got Cadbury's purple and black as well going over the top in different ways, so yeah, should be pretty wild. Okay, so the black and the Cadbury's purple going on. So the front is going to be very busy with multiple angles going all different ways. It's got purple coming up here, another shard coming down there. As it gets to the back, it just goes that way. So it'll look like really busy at the front and then kind of breaking away. That's the idea anyway. And then we've got the logos going on with the same. I'm going to do a matte black logo, chrome, and then the purple. Or matte black, purple, and then the chrome on the top. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, it's going to look pretty wild. So once the front's done, you'll have this coming down both sides, and then I'll put little black shards coming out each way. So that kind of comes for a point and then goes out. So yeah, should look pretty good. I've got to have loads of stuff down here. Purple's all got to go down the front of the bumper. But yeah, it's a pretty nice colour, purple. Yeah, looks pretty cool, I think. Okay, ladies and gents, well that's the finished livery. I don't want to go too mad, obviously I've still got the logos to put on yet, but as regards to the graphics, that's as much as I want to go on that, so yeah. It's pretty wild. So as soon as these graphics go on, as soon as the logos go on, it'll change it again. They always look so good with branding. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so we had a very late night last night. It was up until, we started at 8 in the morning. We finished about 2:30 last night. Excuse the barnet, I haven't been to bed much tonight. So we finally finished the Jzx. It looks absolutely incredible. It's just a complete and utter transformation from what come in here. You know, a rather battered, misshapen, odd colour panels car. It's amazing to see the transformation. So I'll spin the camera around, I'll show you what we've done. With a matte black, chrome, purple. What a difference. I'm not going to lie, it was some work, but it looks incredible. So definitely worth taking the extra time, doing it right. But yeah, got to be happy with that. Well, if he's not, I'll poke him in the eye. I'm sure he'll absolutely love it. Like I say, it's just a complete transformation. It's a completely different car. So yeah. I'd go as far as to say probably one of the biggest transformations we've done. But yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. So, whew, time to get this one gone, and then it's Jerry loops in and getting done. So, another Jzx100 in next. Right, in a bit. Laters, guys, thanks for watching. I know it's a bit of a long one today, but it was a long job. So, all right, nice one. Laters.